And Marianne calls him like, it's Mr. Nasty Time, Balki. And speaking of salad, before Balki goes upstairs, he's like, yes, Marianne likes to toss my salad. Like, whoa.
Yay! And after the match, Stevie had a pre-match sig. When you win, when he's basking in victory, woman comes over and lights that post-match cigarette, and I love that.
Happened in the 90s.
The Attitude Era, they always talk about what came first, what influenced the other. Was it the Hogan turning NWO, or was it the Stone Cold King of the Ring promo? I think it's neither. I really feel like the genesis of it all was ECW, because those guys, they had their attitude transition before either of those other federations did. Sandman, he initially came out as a surfer dude, even with the surfboard when he initially, because he was the Sandman. Get it? He's the beach guy. And
I
then
wondered why that was his name. I never.
yeah, a very cheesy reason. And then by 94, which we're going to discuss, he's already transitioned to the Zuba pants, t-shirt, cane bashing Sandman. All those other guys, like if you watched one episode of ECW in the early 90s and then you go to WWF and you see Mantar or Dr. Isaac Yankum, or you go to WCW and you see Van Hammer and friggin' Renegade and Dave Sullivan, you'd be like, man, both of these guys are pretty whack. Both of these companies. Where's the blood? These other guys are flipping off like balconies and like making each other bleed. Where's the gutter?
And ripping butts, pre-match butts. I mean, it was fantastic. I get what you're saying. And I think, I mean, it had to have some part of it. Because, I mean, you look at their production value and stuff, and it was so, like, limited in viewing. Like, you couldn't just watch ECW. So they did something where they were taking, like, a market share, and they just didn't have, like, the reach of everybody else. So maybe it was that. Like, those other guys saw them and we're like, oh, what are they doing right? And clearly what they were doing right was all that extreme shit. Chairs, tables, flames, blood out the bejesus, hot ladies,
barbed wire.
Yeah. I don't know if that's correct, Steve, but I want to believe that, and I agree with you. Because, I mean, where else would they have gotten it other than, I was going to say, like, that was kind of the time where just in general in pop culture, like anti-hero type people were becoming more popular than, you know, like a Superman or something, like a Golden Boy type dude.
The line was getting blurred. And I feel like they had the vision before Vince or even Eric did, because they figured it out in the early 90s, whereas Vince and Eric, they didn't start doing this until over halfway through the decade, man. Like,
was Paulie Dangerously like integral to that organ? Like he was behind the scenes, like making the stories and stuff, right?
He's a big reason for this explosion, man, because he wasn't the initial producer owner of this company. There was a guy, and he shows up in this pay-per-view. His name is Todd Gordon. He was the original guy, and Paul E, he kind of ran Todd out to the point where he became just like a funder of sorts, or just like a background supporter. And you know, it was Paul Lee's idea, man, like to go extreme and just go further into this direction. One of the greatest wrestling minds, in my opinion.
He had a good ass eye for talent too. If you look at like the people that they got and like would come in, like all the, we've talked about a bunch of these guys coming in that were like well-known dudes just in general. Like Jericho shows up. The Road Warriors were in there for a little bit. There's like legends that they got in, and just the dudes that they had that were like their guys, like Sandman and Tommy Dreamer and New Jack. People like that. It seemed like a wild west of wrestling where it was less fake. You know what I mean? It just seemed like they had a bunch of lunatics in there.
The lunatics were running the asylum. Legendary guys that ended up going to WCW or WWF, they had a sojourn in ECW at some point. You mentioned some of them, and there's also Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and even Stone Cold. He had a quick visit. It was during that time that you could see the early stages, the early phases of Stone Cold. He was kind of putting that character together before he became the ringmaster.
Yeah. So I don't know if let's just put it in the textbook of wrestling, Steve. I agree because you think about it, and I don't think ECW. I mean, obviously they eventually just got bought out by Vince, but man, for a while it was like this cool, like if you.
Everybody knows what Bo knows, but what about Balki?
I must be good. Wow.
You're not buying this anymore, are you?
I'm not even renting it.
Perfect Strangers, Friday.
Happened in the 90s was streamed before a live studio audience. This is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Boys to Men tapes and your Boys in the Hood posters, because sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long lost friend, gives every dark street that light at the end. Standing tall
On the wings of our dreams.
Rise and fall
On the wings of our dreams.
Rain and thunder, wind and haze, I'm bound for better days.
It's my life and my dream, and nothing's gonna stop me now. We know it all, Steve. I honestly, dude, it's up there. It's top 5.
Top
It
5.
always, when I think 90s theme songs, I know this might technically be an 80s show, but this is one of them, dude. This is when they really started doing that good blow and coming up with these awesome songs.
Well, today, my friend, we're talking all things July 16th in the 90s. Starting off in 1991, Compton's Most Wanted releases Straight Checking Them. Man, I fucks with Compton's Most Wanted.
Well, we just heard one song from them on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, did we not?
Growing Up in the Hood.
Yeah. There's like 4 singles in this. They're good. I'm with it, Steve, but I don't know if I'm as big a fan as you, but the song Can I Kill It with the Isley Bro, they got a couple of nice, tasty samples in it. That song, that's my favorite one from the album.
I like just about every song on this album. To me, it's the best album coming from this group. MC8, he's the breakout star. I don't know if you remember his track from Menace to Society. Be a straight up menace, cheer.
That name rings bells, but I need to look at a picture. So.
He was one of the characters in Menace to Society as well. I think his name was Stacy. He was O-Dog's homie, O-Dog.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Kind of had the Jerry curl, but man, MC8 is a legend in the game, man. And I don't think he gets enough props. Compton Legend, Can I Kill It? Straight Checking Them. I Don't Dance. Everything, man.
Telling you, that song Can I Kill It's nasty though. But it was a good album, Steve. I didn't really know about these dudes until we started listening to them, and I really feel like my first time listening to them was when we listened to the Boys in the Hood soundtrack for the show. But decent, dude. Decent.
In 1993, Perfect Strangers is airing Season 8, Episode 2, After Hours. While out shopping for presents for Jennifer and Marianne, Larry and Balki get locked in the department store with a big dog.
And that's not a euphemism. This is the last season, Steve?
The last season.
Balki and Larry have knocked up their girlfriends and are both, I think, living in the same apartment now. So It's 2 guys and their pregnant ladies. So that can't be a great situation. It's great for Balki and his chick, Marianne, because we start off in the kitchen. You know, everybody's eating dinner except Balki and his chick, who are just sucking face, Steve. They're having a big bowl of face.
And Larry's being a hater while Balky's getting his mac on. Larry's like, hey, can you pass the salt? And the salt's right in front of him. Like, hey, can you stop making out with your woman? Hey.
Balki's like, what? He even comes out. He's not even like the nice one. He's like annoyed about it. But, you know, he stops. I didn't realize. I thought, you know, you see it clearly that Larry's chick, I got to give it to Larry. He got a baddie also. She's fully knocked up. I didn't realize Balki's wife was also pregnant as well, which I just think is hilarious. But yeah, man. And Larry's just, he's not feeling the love. You know, they're sucking face over here. And him and his wife are just talking about salad. Crisp lettuce. I mean, this is tough.
When Balki and Marianne leave, Larry's just like, I've had it with those two. They're disgusting. They're really ick, right? Right? No, I think it's actually romantic. You do?
So Larry's now like, oh, okay, so Jen's feeling the flow here. We're about to get some nasty time. Move this baby around a little bit. But they keep talking, and it becomes clear that Jennifer, I know her as Jen, Steve. We're close. She's like, you know what? When you come upstairs, be quiet. I'm tired. So he's not going to get any nookie. And he's stuck looking at Balki and his chick just sucking face on the step. They can't stop, Steve.
Balki finally breaks free from Marianne's lips. And him and Larry are talking on the couch like, hey, Balki, how do you keep the fire going? Keep the fire burning? Well, it's very easy. You take very dry wood. No. I ain't talking about no Boy Scout shit. I'm talking about how can you keep that pussy moist? Pause. I don't even like that.
He wasn't that vocal about it, Steve. But yeah, Larry's just like, look, man, like you're clearly doing something right here. And me and my wife, I'm stuck in Dryville. It's like the Sahara over here. I can't even get close to her.
We talking about iceberg lettuce and shit.
Yeah, it's just boring, man. Like I'm worried. So they start talking. Balki starts talking about like a pleasure chest, some Bartakamus pleasure chest that he brought
Sounds
over
like
with him from the motherland. And
some Diddy shit.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like that.
Some baby oil.
But Larry's instantly like, look, man, like I need this. Like, what's in that thing? And it's got like moon oil, some kind of incense. And not even a tape with some like Kenny G on it, Steve. It's just ocean sounds.
Ocean sounds. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't like that. Throw a little Sleepy Brown or something. Something with some phone kid in, Steve.
And Marianne calls him like, it's Mr. Nasty Time, Balki. And speaking of salad, before Balki goes upstairs, he's like, yes, Marianne likes to toss my salad. Like, whoa.
Yay. Wow. I mean, he's Greek, man. He's European. They are into all that kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised, but Marianne,
she's down for the lickety.
She's like, I'm pregnant. I'll just give it to you.
Booty, a man's butt.
So he runs upstairs, but while they were talking, Larry basically found out where this was and even bribed Balki with some like ice cream trip or something juvenile to get this pleasure chest. So he got it. He got the oils. He got the moon oil. He got the incense. He got the tape, Steve. We cut to the kitchen the next day, and Larry comes in to breakfast heated. He used the oils, Steve. He used the tape. He lit the incense, and each one of those had a horrible effect on Jen. The oil burned her skin. The incense made her nauseous or did something to her. And the tape, she got seasick, Steve.
Off ocean sounds.
What the hell, man? Where's the instruction manual? And Balki's like, what? You put the oil on her skin? He basically just went at it, and he thought he knew what he was doing, but Balki's like, the oil's not for skin. It'll do third-degree burns or something like that. So you fucked up there. The incense, that's for outside, man. That's strong stuff. That ain't the swap meet incense. That's the real deal. So you messed up there. And then the tape, you never play a tape of ocean sounds to somebody who just ate with a full belly. And your chick's got the fullest of bellies because she's got a kid in there. So what am I supposed to do? You use that pleasure chest You can't go in there just no instructions, Steve. You're going to get burned, just like Jen did, because she comes in looking real rough.
Yeah. Looking like the Stankonia album cover. Jenny hates you, my boy. She's coming out looking rashed out, looking like she got Noxzema on her face, on her forearms. Larry's like, man, look, I got to get out of this hole. You know what? I'm going to get my girl a gift. You want to roll with me? Balki already had plans, man. I like the way she tossed my salad. So Marianne, she getting a couple gifts.
Yeah, she gets 3 gifts for that. So we cut to Peterman, Steve. It's a mall department store. They got a little everything. It's Dillard's. Larry and Balki are looking around. They're in the sporting goods section, and Larry just can't find anything, man. He's looking for that perfect gift to get those fires burning again, you know?
Probably not a sports department. That's
maybe some skis for his pregnant wife. That'll get her in the
I'm gonna get this bitch a tennis ball. That'll get her going.
Anything from REI will make her just moist. Balki, though, he's also looking for something special because he keeps celebrating these weird anniversaries. You know, he was celebrating an anniversary at dinner for something, like a first time that they said the same thing at the same time. It's the first anniversary of the first time they got caught in the rain and their hair got all wet and stringy. And when they dried their hair, they got stuck under the steering wheel of the car, Steve. But that's the anniversary.
Yeah, Balki's a exhibitionist. That wasn't all they did. They got caught fucking.
Her head got stuck under the steering wheel, Steve, and I think we all know what that means.
They hear through the loudspeaker, there's 5 minutes till closing. It's like, hey, Larry, we got to get up out of here. But then Larry's like, nah, man, that's just a ploy. They're only saying that so you can be a splurger, so you can just pop up and like, man, I got to hurry up and buy something. So don't even fall for it, man. I know the play.
Think, Balki. Think. And Balki's looking around, like mentioning things that are happening. But while they're just still looking around, Larry and Balki run into a mannequin. And this 5 minutes is ticking, Steve. And this mannequin's in pieces. They got to put it together. Larry's like, come on, man, help me out here. We have to keep shopping. So they spend the next 5 minutes like putting a hand on the head area. There's this whole song and dance with the mannequin parts. They kill about 10 minutes doing that, in which time we see a security guard just miss them and lock them in the store.
Fire him.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, they were making a lot of noise, sir. So I don't know what. Just them being on their hands and knees. You got to maybe take a step that way. But mall security notwithstanding, they're locked in there, Steve, and the mannequin's looking crazy. It's looking a little creepy. The hands where the dick's supposed to be. It's a whole thing.
He's got his foot in his mouth.
So now they realize they're locked in. Well, at least Balki does. But Larry's like, what are you, stupid, man? I got a gold card here. You think they're going to lock the guy with the gold card membership in? You're stupid. So let me go over here, check this door, and prove you wrong. He checks the door, Steve. It's locked.
And by the way, they dealt with being locked in this store rather casually. I mean, how about banging on the door? He just like tries to open the door and then they fall into a conversation. You know, so you got us locked up. What are we going to do?
Meanwhile, there's a phone right there, too. Like, they could have just been like, oh, there's a phone. Let me just call 911, I guess. I don't know even who you call, but.
I'm throwing a cleat through that motherfucker. Like,
can I be honest with you, Steve? I'm thinking us as like 20-something-year-olds, or even now. I got a joint in my pocket with a lighter. We get locked into like a Meyers late at night. That seems like a night at the museum situation where we hit that joint a couple of times and just throw a football down the aisles, do everything we want. But they're not in that mindset. They got 2 pregnant ladies at home. They got things to do. Larry's a man about town. They can't do this. So now they got to figure out how to get out of here, Steve.
While they're talking, Balki hears a growl, and Larry apparently is deaf because he just keeps blabbering to Balki. There's a dog. It's like, yeah, okay, man, whatever you say, man. But anyways, like I was saying, the dog starts growling louder. But Balki keeps telling him, like, hey, man, turn around. There's a big-ass rottweiler behind you.
I like how much Larry has faith in businesses because he thinks the announcement of it closing is a scam. And then when the like Balki brings up this dog noise, he's like, "Yeah, dude, that's the security system. They have this fake dog noise that they put on there to scare people." And Balki's like, "No, dude, it's right freaking there." And finally, he physically like turns Larry's head to look at it. Now they're face to face with a giant freaking dog, Steve. I mean, I didn't know malls, department stores had a junkyard dog for after hours.
Oh yeah,
wasn't aware
man.
of that.
You didn't remember that from the 90s, man? Like this one time we went to Babbage's and like it took them about a half hour to open because there was a lot of chihuahua droppings all over the place.
I mean, how many people have gone into a mall opening hours and seen a thief just rip to shreds from a Rottweiler, just, tearing it apart? But
Westgate did it all the time.
so, yeah, Southwick Mall. I remember that Doberman. It bit me in the ass, Steve. Bit me in the goddamn ass. Larry, Balki, they're face to face with this beast, Steve. This is like Sandlot. And they don't know what to do. It's almost like Jurassic Park. You move, this thing goes off. So they're just kind of like stuck in the spot.
The dog is just like eyeing his food, I guess. It's not doing anything for like 5 minutes. It's just staring at him. They're just standing there. If I saw a Rottweiler that size, and I don't know if you noticed that dog's grill, that dog's, it was just out. The teeth were out, just ready to bite
It
some
had
shit.
a spike collar too. So the owner wants you to know it's not fucking around. And I don't like when a dog's got all that spittle on the corner of its mouth. It was ready to go, Steve. It was
Probably
pre-moistened. Yeah, exactly. It got into the CKY2K or whatever, or the CK1 cologne, and it went off. They're stuck. They move around. The dog keeps like kind of like making a move. They back up. They're far away from the phone that they now even know where it's at because they want to call somebody. So Larry's like, "Look, I got a plan. You run around so the dog chases you. I'm going to go to the phone, make the call. 1, 2, 3, go." And Balki's like, "What else you got, bro?" They're dead. And they face that. And Balki apologizes to Larry. Larry apologizes to Balki. Balki's like, "I have this stash of money behind the nutmeg." He admits all these things. In return, Larry admits he knew about that stash, and if they make it out, he's going to pay him back for the $300 that he stole out of that. Balki starts choking Larry, and then the dog starts chasing them around, Steven. That's all that we see. It fades away, and we don't know if they're dead. Maybe they are ripped apart, Steve, in the middle of Peterson's.
They became Alpo overnight. We cut to the next morning, and the girls, they're up and they're distraught. They're wondering, like, where are they? They've been going all night. They went cruising for hoochies. I bet that's what it is.
Marianne's convinced that maybe they got night jobs to help pay for these kids they got coming. They just forgot about to tell them. But Jen's like, or maybe they're just dead. It's like, okay, half full, half cup, half a whatever, half glass of milk or whatever.
Part-time, half or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Larry and Balki show up, clothes just shredded, asshole wet.
Looking at Balki, he might be missing a dick too. He's got a lot of damage there. But they come in, the ladies are like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And they explain it. It sounds a little far-fetched. I'd still be like, were you cheating? Is this an elaborate cheating excuse? It's not, though. And they both come with gifts too, Steve.
That usually helps.
Yeah, So Balki, Marianne, she's like immediately like, "Oh my God, thank you for this anniversary gift." I forget what it was. But then she's like, "I got a gift upstairs for you." And they just go upstairs because we know what's about to happen, Steve. Salad.
That's all you got to offer, some coochie.
Yeah.
Well, she does toss salad, though. That,
about
you
to
got to
say.
take that into account. Yeah.
Booty. A man's butt.
You know what takes the edge off after a hard night of running around from a Doberman or whatever that dog was? Some ass eating, Steve.
Yeah. Might have some dog slobber on it, but she's a freak.
Hobo espresso wakes you right up.
So they go upstairs, and now Larry's talking to Jennifer, and they're basically like, look, you don't touch me anymore. You think I'm ugly because I'm pregnant. No, honey, you couldn't be any more beautiful.
You are.
Oh,
I love you, Larry. And then she's like, oh, you know what? Everything's great. Let's go up and have a cuddle party. And Larry's
yeah.
like, finally. And that's it, Steve.
Cue that Miller Boyette theme music. Also in 1993, Free Willy premieres. When a boy learns that a beloved killer whale is to be killed by the aquarium owners, the boy risks everything to free the whale. Directed by Simon Windsor, starring Jason James Richter, Lori Petty, Jane Atkinson, August Schellenberg, and Michael Madsen.
Love seeing Mike Madsen and Lori Petty playing just normal people, Steve. Good people. Yeah. Not Tank Girl or a guy cutting a cop's ear off.
Yeah.
I never really dug this movie as a kid. I don't know. I don't know why. It got me. I watched it. And it makes you tear up. It tugs at your heartstrings, you know. It's especially when all of like the stuff where Willie gets really agitated when people are like clapping. I was like, stop it. Stop it. You're making him mad. It got me, but this was never like a huge thing in my life as a kid though. I remember my friends loving this movie. And I'm pretty sure it had a Michael Jackson song on the soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken.
The soundtrack is fire. It's got Michael Jackson, New Kids on the Block, and SWV. Be right here. No fear. Have no fear.
Maybe that's why they got a little young black and white kid doing playing instruments in the music video. I was like, why do they got kids in this? They're like fishing at a beach. I guess that's why. It was a song on Free Willy. I just figured it out.
Also in 1993, Hocus Pocus premieres. A teenage boy named Max and his little sister move to Salem, where he struggles to fit in before awakening a trio of diabolical witches that were executed in the 17th century. Directed by Kenny Ortega, starring Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, Omri Katz, Thora Birch, and Vanessa Shaw.
And I'm not going to be too negative, Steve. This is about giving things flowers. But I will say, if I'm watching a movie like this, Halloween, like kid comedy, I'm watching Ernest Scared Stupid. And that's where I'm going to stop. You know, this isn't my thing. You said you love this in a group chat. So I'd like to hear about you loving this.
It's just a fun movie, man. It's great background. Saturday afternoon, you're doing chores. You know, you see a sexy Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't care. I like me a big schnoz broad. And then it's been a minute since I do the Waka Waka, and I just couldn't help but think about Kathy Najimy's big breasts, just trying to fill up that bustier. Yeah, I said it.
Well, I would say like that aged great because Kathy Najimy has aged like a fine wine. I would say I don't know what Sarah Jessica Parker looks like at this point, but she's looking good. Kathy is. I'm saying.
Early 90s Sarah Jessica Parker? Yeah, man. I don't know what the whole Matthew Broderick thing's about, but hey, man, pop your collar, player.
Chick that the kid has a crush on, right? The rich girl. Is that the girl from Ladybugs? She was in Ladybugs, dude.
She was.
The crush in that. So she kind of leveled up in the 90s.
The Meg Ryan of teenagers and preteens, I guess. She's love interest in Hocus Pocus. She's love interest in 310 Yuma, or whatever the hell.
She's always the attainable, just like hottie, you know, like that you can just go into a new town. I like that they're calling this kid Hollywood and stuff. He's from LA and he moves to Salem, Massachusetts, and everybody's like, "Oh, Hollywood, big Nikes, Hollywood."
Hollywood over here. I can't do a Bostonian, but I did not like the bully who looked like he was 36. I did not like him. Like, you look too old. Shame on you, casting directors. You couldn't find an actual kid. This kid looks like he has kids.
Yeah, he looks like somebody who would definitely did January 6th. but he looks a little slow too. You remember in South Park when there was Mimsy, and he looks like the Mimsy. Mimsy. He's just like the slow kid.
He got held back 7
The
times,
other
man.
guy's a
And
douche too. The one with the blonde hair and the leather jacket. It's like, come on.
yeah, the Budnick looking
What
fuck.
you, the cool Italian chick that came to the Bayside?
They just took the dude's kicks. Oh yeah, we're just bullying you because that's our thing. We bully. Give me your shoe.
Let me try them on. I need them because I got gout. I'm 55. I need comfortable shoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna trade it in for my heart medicine. That was my only gripe with this movie, man. Bette Midler did her thing, and I know you said she grinds your gears for whatever reason. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think I maybe got in trouble as a kid to a Bette Midler movie or a song in the background. And for whatever reason, she's one person. Whenever I see she's in a movie, I'm just like, let's find something else to watch, you know?
Oh,
And I'm sorry, Bette, you're a joy. You're the voice of a generation. It's just not my thing.
legendary, man. That following year, 1994, ECW is airing Heatwave 94, The Battle for the Future, at the infamous ECW Arena in Philadelphia, effing Pennsylvania.
Philly, have a cheesesteak, go see ECW on a night. What a night. I love that it was like centrally located. I think that's a thing too, man. They had people, I bet there was like regulars that kept going to this because what a thing you could go to every week.
The front row guys, those guys became a part of the whole ECW mystique. There was always the guy with the beard and the long hair, and he was standing next to a guy, I think, that was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. They were a common fixture in ECW taping. I've said this before, but the crowd, I swear, the crowd added so much. They were a part of the ECW experience, man. The chanting, influential to a lot of live sports fandom. Like you're at a game and you hear ref you suck, or bullshit. I really feel like ECW, their lore had something to do with that.
They also, the fans in ECW made other fans, especially in wrestling, step their sign game up. They had funny ass signs that you would see on the tapings.
Crude.
It's just a penis going in Hulk Hogan's mouth, and it's fantastic.
They had their transition, and like as you could see in this supercard, Taz, he's not Taz like, man, I'll choke your ass out, Taz. He's like a spoof of Tasmanian Devil, the Looney Tune character. He doesn't speak. All he talks is ooga booga. He's like from the jungle and shit. Like, so that's that early 90s cartoony shit.
Wasn't he called Tasmaniac?
The Tasmaniac,
yes. Yeah, his hair was crazy. It looked like he got his hair done at the same place that the guys from Public Enemy got their hair done at with those crazy braids.
See, I remember that, Matt. Will we not? Okay, we'll get to that. Oh man, I swear. Oh yeah. Ooh, we start this off. See, there he doing it again. And we starting this off with Hack Meyers and the Rockin' Rebel versus the Bad Breed, Axel and Ian Rotten. Out of these 4 people, only one is still alive. Guess which one?
Is it one of the Rottens, Steve?
Yeah.
Axel.
Nope.
Damn it.
Dead as disco. It's Ian. Surprisingly, he's still alive. He actually ran his own local IWA federation, man. But the Rockin' Rebel guy, he's a piece of work. He passed away via suicide, but before that, he took his wife out the game too. He held her hostage in the closet, and shortly after that took her life and then his own, man. So their children are left orphans, man. So Rockin' Rebel, forever a piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He doesn't look cool. I mean, he's very generic looking. I do like that one of these guys just walks into the ring like from the entrance and immediately just slaps the living shit out of whoever's in the ring.
I'm not saying mullets died in the 90s, but those kind of mullets should have been retired. If you want to keep mulleting in the 90s, there's a certain way to go about it. Rockin' Rebel, it looked like he came from a Poison tour.
You got to have a head and a chin and stuff to make a mullet look correct. And Rockin' Rebel's got some stuff going on, Steve. Nothing's working. You got to start from scratch. Create a character again and not this.
But first, he should have just worked on his internal. If he had a lot of things going on, before we get to the mullet, he should have worked on that, man. But Rockin' Rebel, rocking that nasty dude, they ended up losing. I think Axel Rotten gives Meyers a flying bulldog, and he gets the pin. But after that, Rockin' Rebel, he turns on Meyers.
We know why, Steve. This guy, he's got a lot of internal strife. He's not thinking correctly, so he blames Meyers for the loss. And they get into a brawl to go to the backstage, Steve, which I feel is like an obligatory thing in ECW also. You finish the match, and then you have to then fight your way to the backstage area just to cherry on top.
And then they tag the next wrestler. You're it.
Yeah, get in there.
The next match is Chad Austin with Jason versus Mikey Whipwreck. Both of these guys are diminutive fellas. Chad Austin and Jathan are both 5'9". I was 5'9" in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then Mikey Whipwreck is 5'7".
He looks just like a dude that came in off the street. I mean, and I feel like that's what his character is. Like, he's just a guy, like a townie. And
that was his appeal. He was like the everyday man. We could be him. Like, he's one of us. But the dude was legit, man. From the matches I've seen, he knows how to take bumps. He's had some legendary matches. His reputation was him getting his ass beat. The man was actually trained by Mick Foley. So that tells you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys like Spike Dudley that can just take his ass whooping in the coolest of ways. So I always knew him just from the tapes that I saw. His gimmick is funny. It's like, this guy walked in off the street. Look at him. Yeah, the whole Jason thing and Chad Austin, it's a weird relationship, Steve, because Chad Austin comes in, and usually it's not like, I'm going to introduce my manager, but this guy goes out of his way to get into the ring and be like, hey, my new manager's here, and he's the sexiest man in the world.
Jason.
And Jason comes in one of the gayest ways possible is a suit jacket with no shirt on under it, and the greasiest white jerry curl that you can come out with fresh. And this guy, Steve, I don't know what happened to Jason after this, but I don't dig it, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening here.
His butthole looks like a dolphin's forehead.
Booty. Booty was more important than food. Booty.
And Chad Austin looks like he's in Gummo. He looks like a character from Gummo, Steve. This guy's ugly. He's not the sexiest man in America or whatever Jason is.
I will say, though, Chad Austin, he can work, man. He did some pretty impressive maneuvers, but he doesn't have the look. Mikey Whipwreck didn't have the look, but, like, he knew how to work that with his character. The fact that Chad Austin's wearing, like, a singlet, like, he's trying to make himself look like a legitimate wrestler. And even though you have the moves, you would have been better off coming out in, like, jeans and a T-shirt or something.
Was this always the case? I don't remember specifically, but like Mikey Whipwreck comes out to Beck Loser. So like, do they come out to like just normal songs? All of them? Or was that just like singular to some dudes?
That was always my thing with ECW, man. Like they used trademark copywritten music and they got away with it because they were kind of the underground company. Whereas like a lot of those record execs, they probably didn't blip on their radar, basically.
Yeah, because somebody else comes out to like Even Flow. Is that Tommy Dreamer? Who is that?
It might have been Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I just thought that was cool. This is a confusing match. This match, we get some cool moves. At the end of this, Chad Austin somehow, I forget how he wins. He wins. And then he gets up, takes the mic from the announcer, and is like, hey, guys, I cheated. I used brass knuckles to win this match. That's not cool. This guy should still be champion. He didn't do that. One, he didn't use brass knuckles. They were never brought in.
Yeah.
Just had them there, never used them. And everyone's sitting there scratching in their fucking head, including Jathan, because he's like, buddy, what are you doing? Like, that's our belt now. But Mikey gets the belt back, but then they just start whooping his ass. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the whole thing was convoluted. Like, you got the belt, but then you throw it back to dude, and then y'all proceed to beat his ass.
Joey Styles mentioned something at the end where he said that Chad Austin hated the audience so much that he didn't want them to have the satisfaction of seeing him win the belt, so he gave the belt back. That was Joey Styles' expert opinion, which still makes absolutely no fucking sense. Just a weird end of match. It could have been a fine match, but it was just like then 10 minutes of like, what the fuck?
No matter how you dress it,
Just this guy a couple of times because it allows Jason to throw a couple of moves on him, Steve.
And then in the next match, we have Stevie Richards with Angel versus Tommy Dreamer. Now, Stevie Richards' mullet, you know what? I respect it. It's got symmetry. It's got flow. It's got length.
Something majestic about it. I mean, the one that we were talking, the Rockin' Rebel had like blonde. It was just gross doll hair. This is more of a flowing mane, like a lion's mane. And we love Stevie Richards, Steve. I think we can both say that. The guy's a legend. Still funny as fuck, too. He has a cool podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out, hey, Angel, what's up?
Angel, she's dark. She's
nice.
pale.
I like that.
Yeah. But Tommy Dreamer, and this is another early character transition, man. Like, I don't know what his thing was. He's dressed like a male stripper. He's just
it looks like he's just bouncer at a gay strip club, Steve. It's weird. Shirtless with fucking suspenders, leather suspenders. It's just odd.
These days, he's known as the innovator of violence. So clearly, this was before his extreme days.
He hadn't started innovating yet. You know, he was just innovating fashion.
I don't know what he was doing with those suspenders, man. And it's a pretty short match because Tommy Dreamer, he wins by submission, and then he throws Stevie out of the ring, gets on the mic, he calls out Shane Douglas and Sabu. He wants that title. He wants a shot at that title. Mr. Franchise, Shane Douglas, he comes out. He's like, man, F you. You get your shot when you get your shot. Hey, Mr. Hughes, do my light work. So, Mr. Curtis Hughes, Mr. Mean Mug.
He looks like a bad guy in the 80s drug movies, Steve. He's definitely the guy behind the guy.
The henchman.
Exactly.
And that's what he does with Shane. He's the henchman.
He looks the part. He's a big-ass dude, that's for sure. But he comes in. Now Tommy Dreamer's got a second match, Steve. He's got to go against Mr. Hughes.
Another staple of ECW. They do those impromptu matches. Like, yeah, I just beat this dude's ass. Who can whoop me? And then another guy comes out, and it's a completely different match of its own. But, yeah, man, Mr. Hughes comes in. And throughout this match, they randomly cut on some, like, John Fogerty-type music for, like, 10 seconds and then it cuts off. I don't know if somebody just missed their cue, but Dreamer, he runs into a chair. He runs into the rope and Shane hits him in the back with a chair. And then he runs into Mr. Hughes, who delivers a just delicious sidewalk slam.
It was nice. It was definitely nice. And then Douglas gets in the ring and is like, dude, nice fucking match. I like that. This is friendship, Steve. Douglas is like, congratulations on the ass kicking. Oh, by the way, who's that little tenderoni there? Because Steven Richards and Angel haven't even had time to get out of the ringside. So Angel's still there, and Shane Douglas is like, hey, you. Yeah, you. Why don't you come over here real quick? Talk to the franchise.
Now, Matt, you're originally a PA guy, man. Are you familiar with New Brighton, Pennsylvania?
I think that's like southeast of Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. That sounds familiar, but I'm more of a central PA dude.
That's where Shane Douglas is from, man. Who knows? You might run into him one day and, y'all could watch a Steelers game together.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll hang out with the franchise. We've got a lot to talk about, especially taste in women, because he takes a liking to Angel, and he's like, hey, how about you come to my match? Come watch a champion. How about that? That's game, Steve.
He pulled up on her like a pimp. Now, his stable he ain't got no motion. Why don't you come over here and make some money with me? honey.
The whole time he's laying game on her, him and Mr. Hughes are just kicking the shit out of Tommy Dreamer, who's just on the ground. He's like, yeah, Angel. God damn it.
Won't stay down.
Wait, you want to come to my corner in my match? So Angel's down, Steve. She's like, yeah. And apparently you don't know who the fuck I am, because he asked her about being like loyal or some stuff. It's you're right. It is very pimpish. You know, so, but Angel's down for the cause, Steve. She's about to walk that stroll, Steve, that franchise stroll.
You know how to get down for your man, huh? And the next match is the Pitbulls. Pitbull number 1, Pitbull number 2 with Jathan versus the Tasmaniac. And they promote it, or they put up the card that it's going to be Tasmaniac and a mystery tag partner.
I like how business like this gets, because the Pitbulls come out and they're on leashes. So it's all very like crazy Fight Club. And then some voice comes in like, we've had some travel issues and there's nobody here. So this match is canceled. Sorry about that.
And then the Tasmaniac shows up, and I think they're playing maybe Nirvana.
Yeah, but I was like just shocked to see. I didn't know about Tasmaniac, Steve. Taz was one of my favorite guys in ECW because he was just cool, but this was not cool. He doesn't really get to do too much because he just gets the shit stomped out of him. There's like a good 3 minutes where the Pitbulls are just taking turns holding him on the ground and kicking him, and he never fully like lays down. He's just constantly like in doggy style. You know, it's weird.
And randomly, Hack Meyers and Mr. Hughes show up in the aisle having a fight. Like, y'all didn't even have a match. How did this beef start?
I mentioned like sort of the low budget of this. They only have one camera, so a lot of this stuff is happening and you're not even seeing it. And Joey Styles is nowhere. Like, I don't know if he had to take a piss, but he's not announcing anything. So we're just watching it, and then like the camera comes over and Mr. Hughes like something. Maybe it's like, I don't know what happened with those two dudes.
Yeah, you got to give Joey some grace. He's rocking the 1s, 2s, and 3s, man. And,
oh my God.
One of the goats. Yeah, Rockin' Rebels whole ass, he's just out there. And then after that, 911 comes out. He's the one that just breaks up the bullshit. He just comes out and choke slams motherfuckers. But not this time, because 911, he gets jumped. And Taz, he's getting jumped. It's just craziness going on.
He's going to jump off a couple of chairs. He's going to slam a chair into somebody and maybe do a leg drop. It's the whole thing, Steve. Exactly. But this is a confusing mess. Much like the ending of that other match where you're just like, what the fuck happened here? What's going on? It was entertaining, though. I will say that. There was a lot of fun to be had. But
he's my favorite of all time in ECW, man. Like, I don't think his character's ever been different. It's always just been the Middle Eastern, whatever. Like, he doesn't speak. He just comes in. He's the genocidal, homicidal, suicidal maniac.
I think Rob Van Dam's probably my all-time for ECW, but there's a lot of people that are neck and neck, including one of the people in the next match, the Sandman, Steve. We got a little gimmick match coming up. Sandman versus Iron Man Tommy Cairo, who I've never heard of, in a damn kendo stick match.
Yeah.
Why would you go up against Sandman in a kendo stick match? I don't know anybody who's an expert in it other than him.
And can't forget, he's accompanied by Woman, a.k.a. Nancy Benoit. So fine. And Tommy Cairo, he's accompanied by Peaches, who was Sandman's real wife at the time.
And I think there's some, joke in this match, because I think Tommy Cairo says that Sandman owes him money because he fucked his wife, or I forget what it, some weird thing that I read on the internet. But, I mean, this is pretty much what you'd expect. These guys got kendo sticks. It takes a while for it to ramp up, which I was like, okay, I'm going to fast forward through all this bullshit where they're just chasing each other around a little bit outside the ring. And quick shout out, because I love Sandman because he has an obligatory pre-match cigarette that he always has to smoke. And it's glorious, Steve. It's how I wish in my 20s I wanted to live my life.
Yeah.
Everything I do.
Think he's smoking Parliaments?
Nah, dude. That's a straight cowboy killer, bro. That's a Marlboro Red, just deep burn on that lungs.
He's totally a cowboy red. And most of this match is Sandman getting his ass beat with the cane.
Yeah, I mean, he takes a beating. The match is over with. This motherfucker has blood. He's got blood, it looks like, coming out of his belly button. He got his ass whooped so hard. But he gets to go home to woman, Steve. So.
And he gets the win by, you guessed it, just beating the shit out of Tommy Cairo with that cane.
And after the match, Steve, he had a pre-match sig. When you win, when he's basking in victory, woman comes over and lights that post-match cigarette, and I love that. That turned me on, actually. I got a little chubby right now.
Just very accentuating. And Sabu busts through a wall, and Paulie, like, whoa. Paulie, he tries to stop him. 911 comes out. He tries to stop him. But I guess he's got a match with Shane Douglas with Mr. Hughes and Angel now. This is for the heavyweight championship.
It's the match to determine which man was the future of professional wrestling, Steve.
Of professional wrestling.
That's stakes. Fuck a champion. You're the future of professional. And even Shane Douglas earlier, when he was on the mic beating Tommy Dreamer, called out like Hulk Hogan, a bunch of people. He's like, these people aren't the fucking future of wrestling. I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like his boot little fringe shit, but other than that, Shane Douglas is a badass. So he's in here, Steve. This is a decent ass match.
This is unheard of at the time when a performer in one company is actually acknowledging other people in other companies. Vince did not want you doing that. And Eric, he would eventually do that to his detriment.
But that's what made this fucking cool, because they would do that every so often, and the crowd would too. Beefing is always the best of. Everybody enjoys it, man. Rap beefs, all that shit. It's just it gets you into it. So it was fucking cool. And I think both these guys are also in the Hall of Fame of ECW. I mean, these guys are legends, but I can't think of anything like crazy other than just like the normal Sabu shit that happened. But I enjoyed the match.
The lights go out. This is so low budget, but that's what we appreciate about ECW. Like, I don't know if somebody just hit a switch accidentally, like their back was on the wall. Like, oh shit. Let me...
Some security guards like, oh fuck, man. Like, what is that? I hope that didn't do anything.
Oh, nothing to see here, guys.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta go shit. Anywho. So once the lights come back on, the match is still happening. Sabu starts bringing shit in at one point. He always has a chair. He brings a table out and like kind of like sets it up against the outside barrier. He gets Shane on that table, and you know when that's coming out, something weird's about to happen. And he moonsaults and misses, and that's kind of his demise in this match, Steve.
Yeah, they say he broke his neck, and I don't know if that's a work or legit. He probably did really break his neck. Because
I mean, that motherfucker has had some of the most gruesome wrestling. Is he the one that had his... Didn't he have his like a muscle get torn off of his arm or some shit?
The barbed wire match with Terry Funk.
Oh, fuck me. And we'll get to that later, too. But so he gets knocked out. Apparently has a broken neck. That's fucking crazy. It's just basically like a TKO, and Shane Douglas wins. So it's the franchise, Steve. I guess he's the future.
And Paulie, he ends up getting beat down, but we can't end a super card in the early 90s ECW without 911 choke slamming, because he choke slams Shane, and now he wants a piece of Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes gets choke slammed.
He looked like he was scared to get chokeslammed, though, because it takes, or maybe it was 911, like, yo, dude, you got to help me out. Because when he gets him in it, you can see him talking. Like, it looked like he was telling him what to do. He's like, fucking.
That's a lot of weight to loft around.
That is.
And Angel, she hits 911 with the chair. He's like, bitch, what? Hey, yeet.
Yeah. Angel takes a nice bump. She takes a hell of a bump. I like 911's thing. I mean, he's just a big ass dude that just chokes, and that's it.
That's his whole purpose.
Fuck it. I love that. He's like the Sandman.
One of the acts sucked on Apollo. Yeah. Again, the genius of Paul Lee. He knew what people's like strong points were. He knew that 911 wasn't a good worker. If he had an actual match, it would suck. But it's like, dude, you're big. You're very intimidating looking. I think you should just wear this leather vest and come out and just choke slam people.
Just fuck people up. Hell yeah.
If a match does suck, come in and that'll shake shit up. But the second part of this main event is the barbed wire match. Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk versus the Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock. Hey, Oh, hey, oh, yeah.
It's,
I love me some Public Enemy, man, and I'm sick of the hatred. I'm sick of the vitriol.
I'll tell you one thing, man. They come in rocking like 8 layers of clothes so they don't get fucking barbed wired up.
And they come out to Onyx. Slam! Da, da, da. Come on. Is that not hard?
That is cool, but I mean, it's Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge.
They can put on a match, man. So they come out, and they're from South Central LA, even though they're not. But for this storyline, they're from South Central LA. But they start the match off at the top of the Eagles Nest because I guess they just don't want no parts of them crazy Funk brothers.
And I don't blame them, dude. These motherfuckers are crazy, and this is a good match. And I don't know if this was something that happened a lot. Is this the time? Because you see a lot of ECW montages and collections where people are throwing chairs under the ring. Is this
them versus Terry Funk and Cactus Jack at the time?
Well, at one point he's like, "Throw me some damn chairs," and Philadelphia complies, Steve, with every chair in the arena. To the point where somebody gets on the thing and is like, "If you don't stop throwing chairs, we will close down. We will stop this."
No, you won't, because we eat that stuff up. And I gotta say, Terry Funk pile drivers, it's just something about them that make them look off. It's like he's pulling on you. It's a different kind of pile driver. Like he's pulling on like your pants, and then he's like driving you in.
It's one like smooth motion where Terry Funk's not a smooth guy. He's always been old and just clunky. But yeah, you're right. He perfected that. And I mean, he perfected this kind of match because this is his fucking forte. This has to be a fucking hell of a life where you got to get ready to get torn to shit in a match, like in front of a bunch of people. And I guess Terry Funk just loves pain, Steve. This guy's a masochist.
Have you ever tried to climb a barbed wire fence?
I tried to climb over a barbed wire fence like on a farm that was like waist high when I was fat and got caught up on it just a little bit, Steve. And it was a nightmare for my fat ass. I can't imagine doing what these guys are doing.
It's impossible to clear a barbed wire fence without getting snagged. I tried my best, man, and every time I catch one of those barbs. So to have the whole ring surrounded by barbed wire, everything was just down by the end of this match. Like those barbed wires were torn.
Well, they eventually, like when Public Enemy wins this, which they do, I mean, Terry Funk is wrapped in all of the barbed wire. They just lay on him. He's wrapped in barbed wire. He's been hit with 5 chairs, slammed on chairs, and he gets up. He can't even get out of the fucking barbed wire, Steve. Yeah, I don't know that he ever did. I think they had to get him back and like cut it off of him because he was trying to like pull it off like a wet t-shirt and it wasn't coming, Steve. So pause.
Terry Funk is 50 in this match. Dory Funk Jr. is 53.
We're going to whoop your ass in a tax and salt match. Can this motherfucker just have a regular match, Steve?
He used to. I think in the 90s, he was just like, "Oh, man, throw me some tacks. Throw me a hammer."
We got loser has to drink spoiled milk match. It's always something weird.
Chainsaw your nuts on a pole match.
You have to do my divorce match. But yeah, I mean, this is a bloody mess. This is how you want an ECW pay-per-view to end. A guy wrapped in barbed wire bleeding profusely. It's fantastic. Oh my God!
In that following year, 1995, WCW was airing Bash at the Beach 95 at the Huntington Beach in California. Yeah.
I will say, I saw Chris Kanyon was on this. Slowly started to remember this guy. Dig me some Chris Kanyons.
He was in it, but he didn't have a match. And it's sad how his life ended, man, because he was a closeted gay man for years. And once Vince bought the territories, he joined WWF and he was hardly used. And the explanation that he gave was it's because of his sexuality. And
that's crazy because, man, I was like watching his WCW stuff where he used to wear that like green Skeletor outfit. And he would do the craziest fucking moves, man. I mean, we said innovator of violence or whatever for ECW, but he was doing some pretty innovative stuff with like crazy suplexes and leg drops and all kinds of kicks and shit. I didn't know that about him though. I didn't know about his like, I guess, hidden sexual proclivities.
And he blamed his lack of success in WWF to him being a homosexual. But there's a viral clip of him being on the Howard Stern show, and he talked about it. He was released from the company, and he was just sharing his testimony. Ric Flair calls in. He was like, "You just weren't a good worker, man. Like the reason it didn't work is because you weren't good." And that couldn't be any further from the truth. As you're watching that interview, you could just see Chris Canyon's heart just sink, man. He's listening to his hero tell him this. Ric Flair's a piece of shit, by the way.
Yeah, I think we've all come to know. Unfortunately, like all of the guys that we used to think were cool were all just gigantic assholes. But it is what it is, Steve. Shout out Chris Canyon. Rest in peace. I didn't know that. That sucks.
And this card, this is the one that Baywatch used for that Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Vader, Kevin Sullivan episode. The main event was a part of that episode where Vader faced Hulk Hogan in a steel cage match.
There's just not a lot of good matches in this, Steve. I'm not seeing anything. I didn't know Kamala was a WCW thing as well. I thought that was just a WWF thing, but him and Jim Duggan, if they're wrestling each other, that's mid-card. That's not great.
And these are recycled matches from the previous WCW event we covered, Great American Bash, because, again, it's Sting versus Ming. Diamond Dallas Page, he's facing Dave Sullivan. It's not an arm wrestling match, but it's an actual match. We got Booker T and Stevie Ray versus the Royal Robert Earl Eaton and Lord Steven Regal and the Nasty Boys in a three-way match. You got Randy Savage versus Ric Flair again, and then the Hogan versus Vader. The funny thing about this is the Renegade versus Paul Orndorff match. Now, Renegade is still the television champ, and he's supposed to be a face, but he's getting booed throughout this match, and Paul Orndorff is getting cheered because they're saying, "Wonderful, wonderful."
Oh, yeah.
And Orndorff is like, "Shut your mouth," because he's a true professional. He's like, "No, you're supposed to boo me." But the picture behind me, Dennis Rodman and Hogan, Dennis Rodman shoots an unintelligible promo. I have no idea what he's saying. Like, Ahmed Johnson promos sound better than whatever the hell Rodzilla was talking about. But
he was on one. Was Rodzilla on one, Steve?
You in the cage match? That's what it sounded like.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Bash, cage, beach.
The one other thing I thought was hilarious sounding, and maybe this is just the internet telling me a lie, but the Randy Savage Ric Flair match, was it a lifeguard lumberjack match?
Dude, sure. I don't like. I kind of had it in the background.
95 was rough, man. That was a rough vintage for wrestling.
In 1996, Ween releases 12 Golden Country Greats. I wanted to take it off initially, was like, you know what? I've never talked about Ween, and this is a perfect opportunity because those guys are actually talented musicians.
I never understood what Ween was. Like, I always assumed it was kind of like Tenacious D, where it's like kind of a jokish, like comedy shit. Yeah. But they are good, you know, they rock. And I mean, Mr. Richard Smoker is one of my favorite, just like funny songs, dude.
That's all I wanted to talk about. Mr. Richard
Poker. Also, it says there's 12 songs, there's only 10 in the actual album. They lied to us, Steve. But yeah, I liked Ween, and Jordan introduced me to Ween. I didn't know about them. We just listened to some of their, like, you know, Bananas and Blow and Mr. Richard Smoker and stuff, and they always made me laugh. But when people would mention them, I'd be like, wait, are they like a legit band, or am I fucked up?
It's like if Weird Al was a group split between two people.
Hell yeah. But Mr. Richard, I because of that, I love Ween, but it's a weird, like, I don't know how to explain Ween other than that. Like, it's not a joke, but it is kind of a joke.
On that same day in 96, Tonic releases Lemon Parade, and I just wanted to cover If You Could Only See the Way. That's it.
Casual Affair is a nasty song, though. You got to listen to that. I think I might have made out with a chick for the first time to that song or to this album because it made me have some kind of like memory of just like sex. So that's my really only explanation, but that song does rock. Casual Affair, shout out. Tonic, what's up?
I thought the one song they had on the American Pie soundtrack would be on here. I don't know if you remember that, but that one was pretty cool.
This album's not bad. I mean, they got a couple of bangers on this. I didn't realize I like Tonic as much as I do, like when I re-listened to this week. So, yeah, dude, shout out Tonic. Lemon Parade, I enjoyed that.
That following year, 1997, George of the Jungle premieres. A man raised in the jungle by apes falls in love with a wealthy American heiress. Directed by Sam Wiseman, starring Brendan Fraser, Leslie Mann, Thomas Hayden Church, Holland Taylor, Richard Roundtree, and John Cleese. Shaft?
Yeah, what? I didn't make it through this whole movie, Steve.
I couldn't.
We've talked good about Brendan Fraser recently. I think we talked about The Mummy. I dig Brendan Fraser. So this movie, it's just, it's a swing and a miss, man. George of the Jungle, it was kind of like a mid cartoon anyway. It had a funny theme song. We didn't need this.
No.
But the gorillas, the people, those were people in costumes, and they that was crazy, like animatronic work for such a shitty movie. So shout out to the gorillas.
Yeah, mid to late 90s, Brendan, he kind of lost me, man. He hit a resurgence, though, man. Just shout out to him. Like, I didn't know Leslie Mann went this far back. This is probably my first time seeing her in a non-comedic role.
I didn't realize Thomas Hayden Church was in this either, which I dig Thomas Hayden THC, but just not this.
In 1999, Eyes Wide Shut premieres. A Manhattan doctor embarks on a bizarre night-long odyssey after his wife's admission of unfulfilled longing. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Sidney Pollack, and Marie Richardson.
This movie's fucked up. I'm not going to speak for an hour on this, which we could. I didn't like this movie when I first saw it when I was younger. I watched it because I thought I would see some titties as a young kid, and you do.
You do.
This movie's fucked up. It's about secret societies. It's about kind of like half cheating on your spouse, secrets in general. There's so much background and conspiracy theory based off of this movie. And, the director sort of maybe bringing to light things that he found out in his experience in life and making a movie about it, and then dying like 5 days after he showed the final cut to the high-level executives and stuff. A lot of people think he might have been killed for making this movie. I'm not saying that happened, but
it's not far-fetched because in this movie we have the final boss of Short Kings, Tom Cruise himself, and this movie, it does have one of my favorite themes in the movie. Fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's literally the last line in the movie, Steve. Nicole Kidman's like, you know what we ought to do? Fuck. But in the background, while she's saying that, her daughter's being led away by two gentlemen that, if you look on the internet, everyone says that they sacrificed their daughter so that they didn't have any repercussions from Tom Cruise getting found out in that weird satanic ritual thing that they were doing. There's a lot of very crazy speculation on this movie. Some people think all that stuff, like the whole ceremony, is a dream.
No.
A lot of people think that, but the guy who I just dug in this movie, and I just found it interesting because he's a director, but that Sidney Pollack dude plays a fucking crazy scumbag in this so well, like an evil rich dude. Is that chick ODs in his place and stuff, and then eventually dies, and he's like, just fucking hooker, dude. But he's like a man. He's like New York's finest and stuff. It's very bizarre, dude.
Is he really acting though?
Well, a lot of people think he's the guy in the red outfit in the ceremony, and that he kind of like orchestrates the whole thing. There's a lot to do. I again, like, I didn't like this movie when I first saw it. I did watch this in full again because I watched a bunch of videos about it and was like, man, I want to see if like I'm seeing all this. And it's very interesting, man. Like, if you actually watch it with all that knowledge, it's fucking crazy. And the other thing that always creeped me out is the the Russian costume guy that was like the Russian dude in Snatch, and he's got like his daughter is like a prostitute. It's very, very dark stuff. And now we know all this Epstein shit. So there's this different thing. Weren't really like onto this like rich pedo thing back then as we are now. So it's kind of interesting to watch it with that knowledge.
On that same day in 99, Lake Placid premieres. 4 people attempt to stop a gigantic crocodile who is terrorizing residents in Black Lake, Maine. Directed by Steve Miner, starring Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, Oliver Platt, Brendan Gleeson, Betty White, and Mariska Hargitay.
I love Betty White in this.
Oh, man.
I honestly loved this movie when it came out. It's a great creature feature. It's just it's like Jaws with a big ass alligator. I love that.
I looked at it as Anaconda, but an alligator.
It's the same thing, but I like for this kind of like dumb movie, they did it, man. I dug it, so I'm gonna give this one flowers. I like it. I like it all.
It ate a damn bear, Matt. A whole bear.
Steve, those are dinosaurs. You don't know. It could have been there for hundreds of years. Let's not look too deep into this.
I mean, it very well could be because this alligator was huge.
Well, Steve, Betty White was feeding it red meat its whole life. She's been feeding it T-bones. This thing got all roided out like Joe Rogan, and it's out there trying to kill Oliver Platt.
Man,
he's great in this too. I love Oliver Platt, man. That guy doesn't get mentioned a lot.
And he's spread it throughout the 90s, man, all throughout. He's just, the Oliver Platt seeds are just strewn.
That motherfucker was one of the 3 Musketeers, dude. He was Porthos, the fat one.
Of course.
Of course.
Just a huge alligator, man. Also in 99, The Wood premieres. While dealing with a friend's cold feet on his wedding day, a writer reminisces about his youth with his best friends. Directed by Rick Famuyiwa, starring Taye Diggs, Omar Epps, Richard T. Jones, Sean Nelson, and Sanaa Lathan with Tomala Jones.
This wasn't something that I watched until I started dating black girls, Steve, and then I watched this. And then it's a good movie. It's not my thing. It's got a lot of handsome men in it, and it made me feel, a little self-conscious. But if I'm going to watch a movie like this, I'm watching Baby Boy, Steve.
Completely different movie, but I saw my black card slowly diminishing. And then just yesterday, I was like, oh, okay, I can hold on to it. I finally got this under my belt. It was one of those where, a lot of people hold that up there with the New Jack Cities, the Boys in the Hood, Menace Society. You gotta watch this. As far as like black classics,
it's good. It is good, but it's like something that for like us kind of dudes of our age, it's like something you'd watch with your girl. Like we weren't gonna flock to the theater to watch The Wood.
And I never have a girl.
Steve, well, maybe you can bring the wood up, and that sounded really weird. Steve, you're gonna find somebody, okay?
I always end up playing with my wood, but also, oh my God, Lisa Ray. I'd never leave you out, Lisa Ray. Damn, like the woman is in her 50s, just looking as good as she did here in this movie. How do you not want to marry her, Taye Diggs? Are you kind of come see, come sir?
There's always like a guy that's cheating with like an unbelievably hot ass woman. He's dating Janet Jackson. I was like, man, I gotta go do some business.
I'm community dick. You ain't heard? Just full of fine ass black women. Sanaa Lathan, Tomala Jones. Oh,
I don't even know what I know Sanaa Lathan from originally, but she's just been this like it's a name where I instantly am like, oh my God.
She was in Blade.
That's it, dude. God damn. Well, The Wood, it's very apropos, I guess, Steve. And it's a good movie. Watch it. Watch The Wood. I didn't know it was a classic, though. I just thought it was like just one of those movies you put on.
Soul Food, it's up there with all those, man. Yeah, man. Check out Mike Tomlin saving his boy's wedding. And you know who probably didn't see any of these in 99, man?
Don't break my heart.
Probably American lawyer and publisher John F. Kennedy Jr. and his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy.
Yeah. Little plane accident, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, man. I remember this being big news. we had this hot ass teacher. I don't know if you remember Miss Reason. She was a teacher. She was like one of those. What do you call those other like non-essential classes like math or science? She was one of those kind of teachers, and she had the biggest crush on John F. Kennedy Jr. Like for I don't know days, weeks. The whole mood in the class just was sour.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy about that too, because I think he was about to run for office, and then eventually, after he died, Hillary Clinton got his seat or whatever. So,
Ooh.
that Clinton, the blood on those hands, it goes back pretty far, Steve. They got a pretty big body count allegedly, but I don't know. I mean, this was huge for everybody, man. I mean, John F. Kennedy Jr. was the little boy in that photo saluting his father's grave at the funeral. So like that's an iconic historic photo just in general. And then everybody watched that dude grow up and he was the Kennedy. He was handsome. He was like, people loved him just like his dad. And then, yeah, man, I mean, I don't remember like, he was like flying like one of those like Cessna airplanes or something. And it just went into the ocean, I think.
And yeah, definitely a moment in history, man. Like it really put a sour mood on the America, man, because a lot of people, like you said, man, they really rock with of all the Kennedys, man. His dad had gone, and it was like, man, you're the next in line. He had the look, he had the charisma that you was like, man, you know what? I could see him on a dollar bill one day.
He was it, man. He was the Kennedy that was gonna like make all that stuff happen. He was like one of those like, I don't know, just sexy New York celebrities too. Like he was just one of those people that was known because he was a Kennedy. But yeah, man, it doesn't pay to be a Kennedy until it does until it doesn't.
What are your callbacks this week?
Well, just going through stuff. I'm just real quick. I found some things. These don't exist anymore, and I just think it was cool. Do you remember video games like this, Steve?
I totally do. Ninja Gaiden.
Well, this is Ninja Turtles 2 and 3. These, kids, you got switches. You can play a regular video game in the palm of your hand. Back in the day, if you had to go on a car trip, you couldn't play Nintendo. You had to play the shit like this. I have Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan on the floor, but it's in pieces. So I just wanted to point out this little blast from the past, Steve. And these things still work, too. I just don't have enough batteries to turn them on. So, there's something about this shit. I just keep buying old stuff now. I'm becoming some kind of weird museum. I got Nintendo 64s. I'm playing GameCubes. I'm staying back in the 90s, Steve. I'm living this lifestyle. So
a hoarder of 90s, if you will.
Yeah, that's probably more apropos. But what about you?
My only thing is, Kathy Najimy, as long as I have a face, you'll always have a place to sit. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, if you could only see the way I hate you, maybe you can lick my balls. And check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcast, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Mad G.
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s.